In this video, we're going to talk about the number one tip to lower high blood pressure. I've already discussed about hypertension in a couple of my videos where I have stressed upon the importance of vitamin D, zinc, magnesium, potassium, omega-3 and flexibility exercises in naturally lowering high blood pressure. In this video, I'll be telling about the root cause of essential or primary or idiopathic hypertension. The root cause is your poor gut health. Poor gut health is equivalent to inflammation. Now, this type of inflammation can be a low-grade inflammation that is not routinely detected by tests. So those routine tests that we do, they cannot detect these type of low-grade inflammation. So you assume that you are healthy, you do not have inflammation, but this is not the case. If you have high blood pressure, by default you should assume that you are having poor gut health, and you have to work in that direction. You have to fix your gut health to control inflammation, and you will see that within few weeks without medication you will be able to lower your high blood pressure. There are things that can damage your gut, like junk food, vegetable oils, high fructose corn syrup. These are absolutely dangerous for your gut health. Then a very high salt diet is also dangerous for your gut health because it alters gut microbiota, and this can lead to increased inflammation and high blood pressure. So try to get enough potassium and lower your sodium intake to improve potassium to sodium ratio. This is very, very important. Next thing that is absolutely dangerous for your gut is overprescription of drugs, especially proton pump inhibitors and antibiotics. Now, when you do prolonged proton pump inhibitor, what it does, that it can lead to suppression of acid in your stomach. So suppression of acid in your stomach leads to migration of the pathogens towards the small intestine, and it can lead to a condition known as SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, because HCl is needed to kill pathogens inside your very important part of your digestive system. So if you are suppressing it for a prolonged period of time, it is going to result in poor gut health. Then antibiotics. So antibiotics, when you take, what it does, it are bad bacteria, it kills both of them. And when there is decrease in certain good bacteria like strains of lactobacillus, then bifidobacterium, oxalobacterium, what it does, there is again increased risk of inflammation and high blood pressure. So do not take antibiotics unnecessarily. In India, it's a common practice to just go to a pharmacy shop and ask for antibiotics even without a doctor's prescription. So then our own DNA, we have bacteria's DNA that resides in our gut. So we have to take good care of these bacteria. We have to feed the right food, and the right food is fiber. Prebiotics are extremely important. People with high blood pressure, what they want to eat is indigestible carbohydrates. What it is going to do is that when it reaches the colon, it is going to get fermented by your colonic bacteria, and it leads to generation of microbial short chain fatty acids. Short chain means carbon atoms 1 to 6. So these are mainly acetate, propionate, butyrate, and these are very, very important in keeping the enterocytes healthy. These give fuel to the enterocytes and they keep inflammation under control. They also are good in preventing inflammatory bowel diseases. Short chain fatty acids are produced and they enter the blood. What it does, it acts as ligand for G protein coupled receptor, and there is a class of G protein coupled receptor, GPR41, and it binds to this receptor and forms a complex, and this complex leads to vasorelaxation. That means your arteries relax. There is improved arterial compliance. That means it is going to decrease the resistance to blood flow, so it's going to naturally lower your high blood pressure. This complex is also going to decrease inflammation, and over a period of time this will remarkably improve your cardiovascular health. If you are someone who has high blood pressure, what type of fiber I would recommend to increase short chain fatty acids? The number one thing I would recommend is garlic. Number two is onion. Why? Because of sulfur. A lot of time essential hypertension could be just sulfur deficiency, and in my clinical practice I have seen that when I give benfotiamine supplement, in 1 month they are able to reduce high blood pressure without use of any antihypertensive drug. This has to do with sulfur. What sulfur does is it improves endothelial nitric oxide availability. So there is more nitric oxide available in arteries, and nitric oxide, what it does, it causes relaxation of the blood vessels and improves the blood flow. so it's going to naturally lower high blood pressure. Someone who is transitioning from unhealthy lifestyle to this type of lifestyle, you want to introduce these things gradually over weeks or months. You do not want to start eating too many fibers all at once, because your gut microbiota will take time to adjust. So you should gradually introduce fiber in your diet. This is especially true for someone who is transitioning from unhealthy lifestyle to this type of lifestyle, and you have to eliminate things. Especially I would recommend to eliminate gluten, casein and other pro-inflammatory things like vegetable oils and high fructose corn syrup. So you have to do elimination diet and gradually introduce these fibers in your diet. Focus here, gut blood barrier. You want to strengthen this barrier. Why? Because this is important for nutrient absorption as well as maintaining homeostasis. So as much as eating is important, it is important that you are able to absorb nutrients so that you do not have deficiency like zinc, which is again important in controlling your blood pressure. One key thing here is you want to improve protein utilization. How do you do that? If you have less stomach acid, what it does, that the protein you are eating is not getting broken down, so there will be decreased protein utilization by body, and this gut blood barrier can be weakened, and that can lead to increased passage of toxins into blood and inflammation. So you want to make sure that you are not dealing with low stomach acid, because this is again very, very important for proper protein utilization to strengthen this barrier. Because if you have low stomach acid, that means the protein you are eating is not getting broken down properly, and that can mean that this barrier is weakened and there will be increased entry of toxin from your gut to the blood and inflammation and leading to high blood pressure. So you can take certain digestive enzymes or even use apple cider vinegar. You have to eat flavonoid rich food, which is again very important for this gut blood barrier. So gradually you have to incorporate fruits and vegetables, and that will strengthen this barrier and prevent inflammation.